What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including John Cena answering Drew McIntyre's challenge, a heartbreaking career-ending injury for a former WWE superstar, Triple H blocked Vince McMahon, CM Punk's rare praise for the WWE, Vince McMahon apologizes to a fired superstar, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's do the intro and get straight into the first story. Now our first story looks at John Cena answering Drew McIntyre's challenge. A 16-time WWE champion, John Cena is busy in Hollywood, but that doesn't mean he's forgotten about his wrestling roots, and had it not been for the pandemic, Cena might have shown up at this year's Wrestlemania. While that didn't happen, two-time WWE champion Drew McIntyre recently challenged Cena to a match at WrestleMania 39, and while that's almost 2 years away, it would be a huge match. Cena responded to the Scottish Warrior's challenge by posting a picture of Drew on his Instagram account, leading to fans quickly speculating Cena wouldn't mind working the match. Knowing the twists and turns of the wrestling business, as well as Cena's busy Hollywood schedule, it's difficult to look that far ahead. Fans are more curious over whether Cena will face Roman Reigns at this year's SummerSlam, as that match has been mentioned as a way to hype this year's biggest party of the summer. Next up, a heartbreaking career-ending injury to a former WWE superstar. A former NXT Cruiserweight champion Lio Rush has announced his retirement from the ring. Rush, who has made a surprise debut at AEW's Double or Nothing Casino Battle Royal, injured his shoulder during the match, apparently caused him to end his career. Rush posted a message on Instagram announcing his retirement, an excerpt which follows saying, "Thank you to the fans who have fought it out with me for the past 7 years and the people in my corner. Thank you to all the promoters and friends that I've met along the way who believe in me and my vision. This has been a great ride, but it's time to get off and do what truly makes me happy. Due to contractual obligations with New Japan Pro Wrestling, I will be making final appearances once I'm healed, but for now, thank you all from the bottom of my heart, and I'll see you soon." Rush explained how he was able to hold his son following his injury and that he sank into depression. Rush has other endeavors outside the ring, including a music career, so he may focus on that in the future. So while Rush is apparently stepping away from the ring, he'll wait until he's fulfilled his contract with New Japan Pro Wrestling. Rush's retirement apparently rubbed WWE announcer Greg Hamilton the wrong way, with Hamilton tweeting, "Wow, unreal. If we all didn't have our own lives and families to take care of, I just might pretend I give a, on behalf of the wrestling family and community who work for a living, onto the gym." Rush, who was released from the WWE in 2020, reportedly had backstage heat due to his unwillingness to carry the bags of veterans and other activities that were considered a way of paying one's dues. What do you think of Greg Hamilton's reaction? Man chose violence today. Next up, CM Punk's rare praise for the WWE. CM Punk's vocal criticism of the WWE is well known, whether the former WWE superstar is lambasting the company on social media or in interviews. However, Wrestling Straight Edge superstar actually had something positive to say about a current WWE storyline and a superstar involved in it. During an appearance on the Wrestling Perspective podcast, Punk noted, "I think a lot of times the best stuff, you've also kind of just got to go with the flow with it. I'll use Roman Reigns as an example, because if we're talking about good stuff, if the WWE does anything good, I mean, this is the only thing that they're doing right, is Roman Reigns." Roman Reigns' heel turn has been praised by many fans, but Punk brought up a point that others have mentioned, the timing of the turn. His character work, his in-ring stuff, it's all great, but I feel like classic WWE, they're always 5 years, 10 years late. This is something they should have done originally because they tried so hard to get this guy over as a babyface, and they gave him X amount of Mania main events. Like, this is the guy, this is the guy, this is the guy, and he never really had his moments until now. It's interesting that Punk has always time to criticize the WWE, which makes you wonder how often he watches the product. What do you think of CM Punk's comments? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Triple H blocked Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon has the final say on everything in WWE, but Aleister Black revealed an incident a few years back where Triple H was able to talk with Mr. McMahon out of doing something the Cerebral Assassin felt was detrimental to NXT. During his talk with Renee Young, Black recalled, "I remember the match that I had with Velveteen Dream, and that was a match that put me on the map. I remember Hunter telling me a while ago, about like a year and a half ago, we had a talk. Even a year and a half ago, I was going like, what are we doing? Because it's stopping. Every time I thought we were going somewhere, we didn't. Every time I saw the fans get behind me or the ratings were positive, no one pulled the trigger on it, and Hunter told me that even back then, Vince McMahon was like, I want that guy. And then I was like, I think the match with Johnny Gargano when I came back again, I want that guy, and Hunter kept telling him, no, I have this program with him, I want him to finish and write that out. Our fans will likely recall Mr. McMahon brought Black up to the main roster in 2019 along with several other NXT superstars in an attempt to shake things up. Regrettably for Black, McMahon lost interest in him, and while Alistair's career enjoyed a resurgence when Paul Heyman was in charge of Raw's creative department, Black's career went up in smoke once Heyman was removed from creative. Next up, Vince apologized to a fired superstar. Aleister Black covered a number of topics during his chat with Renee Young, including a meeting that he had with WWE's head honcho and a broken promise. I had a conversation with Bruce Pritchard and Vince McMahon that lasted about 30 to 45 minutes. It was a long talk, but it was a good talk. Again, full of praise, complimenting my ability to be honest with them whilst being respectful and just saying how much he respected my creative thought process. Black has also shared a number of scenarios he pitched to the WWE, including a series of feuds culminating in the feud with Mr. McMahon himself. If Black can find a promotion where he can incorporate his clever creativity into his storylines, he could see his star rise. But sadly, that didn't happen in WWE despite Mr. McMahon admitting his mistakes with Black's push. Aleister mentioned, and he also understood that there were things during my time in the main roster that did not go the way he wanted it to go. And he said, I'm sorry for that, I apologize. Let's do it this way. I'm going to send you home for a bit. We're going to get some separation between you and Kevin Owens, and when you come back, we're off to the races. McMahon's failure could benefit wrestling fans as Black's backers are eager to see what he ends up doing next. Black is scheduled for a photo op session on 13th November at Rack Attack Promotions' big event. And finally, WWE Stock Skyrockets. And last but not least, does Wall Street think the WWE is being put up for sale? Well, some fans think so, and we recently released a video suggesting Vince is planning to sell and why. According to a report from Ringside News, WWE stock price has gone up 13.04% today as of this writing. That is up $7.58 so far. The stock price peaked a bit at just over $70 around 9:45 this morning, but then it dipped back down a bit. It is still above where they were at this time yesterday. Have you guys invested in WWE stock? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.